Well, welcome back. This is Greg Swanson with WarriorMindCoach.com, and this is Creating Mental Strength, How to Master Your Thoughts and Emotions No Matter What. We are now on part 3. I hope you've been enjoying part 1 and part 2 so far. I've read through the information, downloaded, printed it out, made a little binder for yourself. Um, Again, this is just going to be highlighting some of the information. There's more details in the PDF below. Um, there is I think we know there's an importance of eliminating negative thinking, but it's not just simply having a good attitude or feeling good or being positive for the sake of being positive. All these things have their benefits, but eliminating negative thinking actually changes the vibration of you. And we've talked about this before. And so as you change your vibration, you change who you are. Your personality creates your reality, and your mood, your temperaments, your thoughts, your beliefs are all part of your personality. And so as you eliminate the negative thinking or put in positive thinking as well, your vibration changes, your personality changes, and your personal reality changes. You see, our minds are like gardens, and we have to be the master gardener, if you will, or the conscious gardener. And we need to take time, diligence, and go through our garden on a regular basis. We need to weave out the negatives, the insecurities, the failures, and understanding this and performing these actions is your duty and your responsibility to eliminate the negative thinking. So what are some ways to remove it? There are many, many ways. You go into NLP, there's a lot of ways. You go into psychology, there's a lot of ways. But these are some fun ways that you may find very, very helpful. So we're going to say you're going through the day and you start to have a negative thought. And I know in part 1 I talked about there's no negative thoughts, there's only empowering or disempowering. But I'm using the word here negative because I think you'll be able to associate with it more clearly as far as the thoughts. When we coach one-on-one, we will change that around, and you'll see that how many of your thoughts, they may not be negative, but they certainly aren't empowering, and they most likely are disempowering. So first technique is to just basically hack it off. And what that means is in midstream, you're having this negative thought, and you just stop. You yell stop, or you yell change, or you yell something, right? Because what happens when somebody's coming at you and you say stop? They stop. Well, the same thing happens with your thoughts. When you say stop, you just hack that thought off in midstream and you stop, and then you start to think a different thought. You see, you're the one who's thinking, you're the one who's observing. All of these techniques play into the role of being conscious of what you're thinking. So first, before you can even do these, you need to be aware. We've talked about that in lesson 2, being aware of your thoughts. So the first technique is just stop it, right? Hack it off. That's it. The second technique is to identify it. And it's kind of like, oh, there's a flower. Oh, there's a bee. Oh, there's a negative thought. Oh, there's a truck. And you just identify it with no emotional attachment to it. Because here's the secret with thoughts, and we've talked about it, that negative thoughts only have power over you if you react to them. If you get a negative thought and you latch onto it and you create emotions with it and you start going around the drain and start circling around it and creating more and more emotions to it, it's going to affect you physiology. It's going to affect more thoughts. It's going to create stress within you. It's going to release cortisol. It's going to do so many things. So when you react to that negative thought, that's when it has power. That's when it's sunk its teeth into you. It's like a pit bull at that point. It's sunk its teeth into you to have it. But if all you do is walk by it, look at it, kind of like you're sitting at your office and you looking out the window and you see some birds flying by. You don't reach out to try to grab the birds, do you? So you just let them fly by going, oh, there's a flock of birds. Same thing with these thoughts. You go, oh, there goes some thoughts, and you let them go by, and then they'll dissolve into nothing, into the ether from where they came. Third technique is exaggerating it. This is one where, okay, if you're gonna, if you can't release it, you can't hack it off, you go with it, but you go with it to such an extreme. Let's just say that you are concerned about, oh, that you might get laid off. There's no particular reason for it. You're just concerned that you might get laid off, and you can't stop thinking about it because the company's been laying off people or whatever happens. So what you would do is you would go with it and go, okay, you know what, I'm going to get laid off, and then probably I'm going to lose my wife, and then I'll lose my house, and then I'll be wandering the streets, and then I'll be in some hobo camp someplace, and then I'll get some rare disease, and then so that's on the negative side, right? I mean, but you understand that you can exaggerate it to a point of it just doesn't make sense. And that's the whole key here, is you want to get it to a point where it breaks the boundaries of making sense. Like, that is not going to happen. But when you can exaggerate it to that level that this is not going to happen, then that negative thought stops having power on you. The fourth technique is to neutralize it. What happens when you neutralize something? You take the opposite with it. So if you have a negative thought, you neutralize it with an empowering thought. You just kind of think of the thought, or the thought comes to you, and you go, oh, that person, why would that person go out with me? If you're thinking about asking somebody out for a date, that person's not going to go out with me. Oh, that person's going to love to go out with me. I'm such a wonderful, cheerful individual. Oh, I'm not going to get a raise. Oh, of course I'm going to get a raise. They had a big profit this past year in business. These things may not happen, but why not be in a better vibrational place for it to happen? So these are just the first steps in changing your reality, because you're changing your personality. And so these are small steps that you take. The fifth technique we've heard about, affirmations, declarations, however you want to call it, but it is important. Some people think this is browbeating or beating the subconscious mind into submission. Regardless of what you call it, it's something that we repeat to ourselves all the time. We repeat things to ourselves all the time we're not aware of. We repeat maybe not supportive things, and we repeat supportive things. So what you want to do is, when that negative thought comes up, you find that affirmation that neutralizes it, or is the counter to it, or something that you want to feel. You know, an affirmation is how you want to feel, how you want to behave, and you just start repeating it. You get into a rhythm. I constantly attract wealth and abundance. I constantly attract wealth and abundance. And you say it to yourself. You get something that has a nice little beat to it. You find a phrase in a song that you really like, and you just start repeating that to yourself over and over and over, whether you're waiting in line, whether you're driving, whatever it is, you start doing that. So those are 5 techniques. So I want to talk about designing a Warrior Mind program. And the first thing you have to be aware of before you start going out and setting goals using this process, or the process in Develop the Mental Strength of a Warrior, is the importance of doing the exercises in this program regularly, daily, not just when the mood strikes you. To get the full benefit of this system, you must take it into your life. You must embrace it. You must practice it. You must do this the same way as you brush your teeth, working out, or any other daily practice. The presumption is, oh, I only need to do this once or twice. That is such a fallacy. It has taken you, however old you are, it has taken you that many years to create your personality right now. What we're doing here with this system is to shift that personality by shifting your vibration. If you think you can shift yourself in one session, 1 hour, 10 minutes, one time a week, you're fooling yourself, and you might as well stop the program right now. You can change that, and you need to be able to do this regularly, every single day. Every day. You pick one of those techniques, you pick something above there in those techniques we talked about, and you start to practice that every single day. It will happen, it will work, you will change. So, when I work with people one-on-one and in groups with this, really they only scratch the surface. When I work with them one-on-one, we can scratch the surface and go down a little bit deeper. When I work with groups, it's time precludes us from getting into the details of it. But here's something: when you start thinking about hitting your mental resistance or hitting your edge of your comfort zone, your conscious mind is going to find all sorts of reasons why you shouldn't be doing this. And this is when you're at the edge of your comfort zone. It'll say, I'm too tired today, I'm too busy, I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, so why should I do it? Oh, it doesn't matter if I miss a few days. Uh, I'm just not into it today. And oh, I'm going to wait till I can do it perfectly. All of these make sense when you're making those excuses, but those are just flags that you're bumping up against your comfort zone. So when you start to design your own Warrior Mind program, it's going to take diligence. It's going to take commitment. It's going to take a daily reflection. And you're often going to have to do the exercises when you don't even feel like it. This isn't a simple task. This is where the mental strength comes in. Keep track of your exercises. Keep a journal. I did this exercise today. I did this exercise today. And you start keeping it. What you are doing is the process of taming your ego. The ego is a good thing. I am one of the few people I think that the ego is a good thing. It is a good thing. It helps us tremendously. It's when it's not tamed and it takes over our life that it may not be so helpful. What you are going to be doing here is learning to tame your ego, that you can change your vibration and then change your personality and change your personal reality. So there we have it. End of part 3. Hope you found that interesting. And again, please download Creating Mental Strength part 3 below, and keep your eye out in the next couple of days for part 4. And until then, live strong.